Hi, this is Erika from QXB Shop, and thank you for joining me here today in my office. Thank you for joining me again, and I'm here in my office, and I'm just gonna show you my day today. I'm mainly working on the bow ties right now and the header cards. I want to show you one of the projects that I'm working on, which is my tembleques. I'm gonna make one for you guys, so you can see kind of a little bit of the process of it. But I'm getting ready to go to an event on the 3rd, November 3rd. It'll be about a week and a half that I still have left to do. So I got a lot of things I got to get done as far as that goes, but I'll show you the process a little bit. But I'm going to be wearing a full set of tembleques for my pollera. I finally get to wear my pollera, so I'm excited. So let me show you what I'm working on right now. So excuse a bit of the mess here, but I got my hair ties that are right here, the new ones that I'll be working on. I'm actually done working with them, but I'm cleaning up the packaging, and also I got to get the photos taken of them so I can get them up in the website. And then of course my bow ties, which I'm working on several flags right now. And so what I'm doing is I have the Panama flag, and these are just the men's sizes right here, so they'll be pretty much this size. So it's the men's and for older boys, and then the babies and toddlers will be a little bit smaller than this. But so I'm starting off with the 5 flags first, and then I'll get the other ones up next. So I have Panama, I got Colombia, I got Puerto Rico, and I got Cuba, and then Haiti. So, and of course each one will have the center, and some of the centers will have the emblem on them, so that's why they're not on this thing right here. So I have to get ready to finish cutting out the fabrics. So what we're going to be offering is the neck strap as one option, and then we'll have the clip-on, and then we're going to have, for the babies and toddlers, they'll have the elastic. So there'll be 3 different options you can choose from for the bow ties, so we'll get that soon. So let me show you now at my table the tembleques I'm going to be working on, so I can show you what it looks like and what my plan is as far as that goes, and a little bit of the process as well. So this is my little table here of tembleques, and so what I'm trying to do is, so like I said, I'm going to be making a full set, and so what involves in a full set, at least, you got to have the peacocks, and this is my crystal set that I'm working on. So these will have, these are not Swarovski crystals. I know a lot of people like to make it with that, but which I would do for a customer. But for myself, because Swarovski costs more, these are actually just Preciosa beads, and they're pretty close in quality as far as the sheen, the brilliance, the I don't know if you can see that. You can kind of see the brilliance of it. It's pretty close to Swarovski, but costs less. And so I have some butterflies. This is the flower that I made. So this is the pair with it. So with the tembleques, if you don't know this already, they got to be made in pairs, because you're going to put on the left side of your head and the right side. So these are the beads that I was telling you about. So these are the Preciosa beads. And here in Lacey, I got them from Shipwreck Beads, but I don't know where you can get them at a local place. So you can see that they're the they got a really nice brilliance to them. And here's the bigger one. So this is the one I use for the center. Really nice. Let me open it and so I can show you what it looks like. This one I haven't actually opened, but let's see if I can. So here's a bigger one. So this is actually a 10 millimeter that I use for the center. You can see that sheen, that it's really brilliant. It's like really nice. So what I'm doing is I have to, I personally like to take it off the string. I know there's people who make tembleques and they leave it on the string and then just put it onto the wire as they go like that. I don't like to personally do that myself, because there are a lot of beads that end up stuck together. Either stuck together or something's wrong with it, they're crappy, they broke, or they're a little jagged quality. I don't know, it's just not really cool. So here's my little container of all my sizes, and of course you could tell which ones I've used the most. So my 4mm is the size, this is the size 4mm that I use the most right here. And then this is a 3.5mm. So I do use that a lot in these things. So like for example, if you can see this is one of the petals. So this right here is a 4mm. This right here is a 3.5, either 3 or 3.5. And then up here on the top is also one of the small ones. And then this right here is a 5mm size that I use. Just to get a little bit slightly bigger than the other ones, just to give it a little different flair to it. So this right here will be my tapamonio, which I'm building 3 flowers for each tapamonio. I don't know if you can see that good. I'm gonna put a little bit in the darker part, but I put the 5 petals right here, and then the bottom ones have 4, and then they're gonna get wrapped in a thicker wire and put onto the bobby pin. So these right here, so this is the completed flower. This is the second flower. So it has 5 petals. And this is the 4 that go underneath like that. And then this is the third one, and the 4 that go underneath right there. And then these are all the surrounding, like basically the leaf petals that go around this whole tapamonio. So when this one's complete, I can show you what it looks like, but I'm not going to complete this one today. So what I'm working on right now is just building several of these. So as you can see, the design on this one, see if it'll focus on there. I put my hand in the way. There we go. So you can see the design on this one is pretty similar to the other one, but I put on the top, I put a crystal bead here and then 2 right here. And then I put 2 beads right here. And this is actually a 4mm right here and then a 3.5 instead of what the other one was, which was 1 bead up here, which was the 3 or 3.5. Then I got a crystal bead. And then right here was the 5 and then a 3.5 and then the big crystal bead. So I have a different design on this one, but you can pretty much like come up with some different cool designs, but stick to what's traditional. And usually with Tembleque is they have butterflies, they have peacocks, different types of flowers. So I have these ones which I'll be wearing in the front. These are the little jasmines, and I know this is not my little crystal set. So let me go ahead and show you some of the process of how I do go ahead and make this, which for each flower I have to make 5 petals total. So it's going to be the outer petal and then the inner petal. So let me show you. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make this petal here. And so I'm going to get some of my beads out. So this one I'm going to be using the little crystal beads. I just want to make sure. So it was this one right here. You can see that. And it's the 4mm diamond crystal preciosa bead. So this one is the 10mm bead, as you can see, from Preciosa, the diamond crystal. I don't know if you can find it for a different price where you're at, but put a few up. So normally what I do is I have 3 different sizes of wire here. So I have the bigger one for the outer petal, and then I have the medium-sized one for the inner petal. If you could see that. And then a smaller one, which is about the same, almost the same size as the middle one, so it's not much different, for the center one that goes through here. And so I usually use my wire cutters and a pair of pliers. Now my favorite pliers, I don't know where I put them at, so gotta find that. So I have that one because I like that one because it has teeth on it. So I'm gonna cut a few to show you what it is. So for this particular one, you wanna use a 26 gauge wire. So I kind of keep those on hand so that I don't have to keep guessing what size I used last. So I don't know if that'll make it a little bit easier for you to kind of pre-cut a few so you know what you need. So I'm just going to cut one because I'm only going to show you one petal, and then I'll show you after I make all of them. Then you'll get to see. So I got my piece. I kind of like to link together. So I got my big piece. I'm going to cut my medium size, have that ready, and then I'll cut the center. Now, other people may do it differently than me. I kind of figured this out a lot on my own. I was taught by my aunt in Panama, kind of like this crash course style. She showed me what to do. She wrote down a whole list for me and everything. She's really sweet. And then I came back to the States and pretty much had to figure out the rest on my own. Watched a little bit of videos that actually were online. There may be a few more about making tembleques now, but when I was first searching them, there wasn't very many. So it's like, it was a process, but and then I also learned from a few other people how to do it a little bit better. So I've definitely come a long way. I think I originally learned in 2010 how to make these, so I didn't really get to learn in school, but so let me show you. So for this particular petal, what I do is I count to see how many beads I need to add to the outer ring. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So 13 beads, so total. So just go ahead and add, and then just keep an eye out for any beads that are, let's see if I can zoom in just a little bit. So making tembleques is a tedious process, and so for me, because I know I'm going to be running out of time, my family's going to help me make the rest. At least to get it started, because we just need to make the outer and the inner petal, and then I can join them all together with the middle center wire. So let's see, I got 4, 8, 12, and 13 on one side. So there's 4 there, so I'm going to add 4 and all those. Now there's plenty of places where you can buy these 4mm round beads. They do sell them at Joann's in packets. I think they also have it at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and I know they do have some online as well. I think you can get it at Fire Mountain Beads, or I think that's what it's called. This particular one right here I did get from Panama. The other ones that I have over here I got from Shipwrecks, but they're phasing them out, so you really can't get them from there. So let me double check that I have my total 26. Let's see, so 12. So I got 12 on this side plus the 13. And I got, yep, so I got 13. So then what I do next is just, okay, so you see how it's kind of like an X shape right there? crisscross, and then all you're going to do is just twist. You can either twist with your hands, or you could take your pliers and grab it right here and then just twist, which is usually what I do. So you don't want to twist too much because you don't want to break the wire, and you don't want to have too much wire near the end, so you just kind of do a little bit of twisting. So ta-da! So there's the little piece that we need. And you want to make sure that it's not too wiggly, so you check it to make sure that your wiring is close enough that it's not going to wiggle the beads around. You don't want it loose because it's going to be a pain in the butt later to fix when you're putting everything together. Okay, so then the next one, the middle one, right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 beads, so a total of 18 going around. So once you get the hang of making tembleques, and I think people who, especially people who are familiar with working with making their own jewelry, or really crafty people that are working with their hands, will catch on to this really quickly. If you don't, it's okay. Just give it some practice, some time working on this. Like I said, the main thing is you don't want to break your wire, so you got to be gentle with that, especially with the pliers. And sometimes if you squeeze too hard and the wire breaks, then you're going to have to take everything off and put it back together again. So not fun thing to do. So let's see, I got 8, so 9 on this side. I got 5 on this one, so I need 4 more. And one of the things is, when you're putting this together, you want to have, it's not necessarily that you want to have even numbers kind of thing. It's just when you make the center, you don't want to have one bead less on one side than you do the other, because it's going to be off. So it needs to be an even number of on each side, so that way when you put the center wire through, everything's even. And that's the main thing about making tembleques, is you don't. So always double check your counting, because before you do any twisting, just double check that you have all the amount of beads you need on there. So again, we're gonna crisscross right here at the edge, if you can see that. That's going kind of wonky. It's hard to do this on camera. So we're just gonna crisscross the wires as close as we can to the beads. And then you're going to take the pliers, or you can do it with your fingers, and then just twist. Now for the middle one, I mean the inner petal, you don't want to twist too much, especially, so I'm going to loosen that up one more, because when we join, you don't want to have too much wire. Let's see if you can see that. You don't want to have too much wire showing. It's not focusing. I don't know if you can see it, but it's not really focusing right now, but it's right at that edge, right near the bottom of the beads. You can kind of see that there's not a whole lot of wire going on. And so now we have our 2 pieces that's going to be joined like this. So they're going to be like that. But in order to join them, we need the center piece. So that's what we're just about to make right now. So we take the center wire, and for this particular one, so you have to repeat everything you made on the other one. So this one we have to add the crystal on top,